Tanking, right? Mm-hmm. They did not put a good lineup around him, right? The Yankees tried, but for other circumstances, injuries, underperformance, whatnot, there's no one in the lineup that is providing him with any, sort of support or protection or anything like that right now. So I think maybe that is some, maybe he's just thinking like, these guys are good. I know they have the talent. If we can just get back whole, I can stay steady and we can turn this around. Whereas with Juan Soto, it was like, what am I doing here? Like, I got like these AAA guys. I got, nobody's around me. Like, I don't care. Right. So.
I like it. The biggest, we talked about injuries a little bit, and the injuries have gotten bad. Anthony Rizzo, the latest to the IL, and we'll see what that means for this team and how long he's out. But the biggest injury concern for you, Katie, going forward is with who?
For me, it's DJ LeMahieu. And the reason is because through July, he was the second most valuable player on the Yankees. If you look at WAR, taking into account his hitting, his defense, and everything that he does, he was literally the second most valuable player next to Judge. He was at, this is through July, he was at 285, a 389 OBP. The slugging was a little low at 424, but he led the AL in walks at the end of July. And he was really that catalyst at the top of the lineup, right? And that's what they need. They need people to get on base in front of Judge and Stanton and whoever's going to try and hit behind him. But he really was providing that. And over his last 20 games, and we know he's injured, right? We know he's injured. He's not on the IL. But over his last 20 games, he's hitting 128 with a 179 OBP. And he has no extra base hits, 17 strikeouts, and 5 walks in those 20 games. Like that is the definition of a black hole in the lineup. I mean, and he's trying to play through it. He's sitting today, but if he can get, when he was right, he was rolling and he was providing protection for Judge. He was getting on base. And he was really just that spark that the Yankees needed. And right now, I think that if anybody can turn it around, if they need somebody to turn around, it has to be him.
If he doesn't, though, what does Aaron Boone do in the postseason with LeMahieu and the top of that lineup?
I think he's still going to run him out there just because of the track record, right? We saw what DJ did last year when he tried to play through an injury. It wasn't pretty, but there really aren't very many options. Especially, you would say, oh, well, Benintendi. Well, Benintendi's hurt, right?
Yep.
There's just, I really don't know.
You're running out of bodies.
Cabrera.
Yeah.
Who do you put it there at the top of the lineup if you don't have DJ at this point?
This is interesting too, because I think there was a lot of smoke and there was a lot of stuff. It seemed like Yankees fans were really upset at the Harrison Bader for Jordan Montgomery trade at the deadline. And that was a point of contention for a lot of Yankees fans. And Brian Cashman, who is still by and large a very good Major League Baseball general manager, he has done a really, really good job. He's just still there. And it's just one of those things where I think some folks just love to hate him because you just are around somewhere for so long that you kind of know how they operate. You know what Brian's going to kind of do, and you kind of know where things are going. But I think it caught a lot of folks by surprise that they would move on from Jordan Montgomery because of how thin the margin was with that starting rotation. And you're seeing that now a little bit where, man, like one or two guys go down this rotation, we're in real trouble. Like, it's great what we got from Nestor Cortez this year, but that was an outlier. That was not something that was expected coming into the year one bit. Jordan Montgomery was just solid. And it was like, do we really need a Harrison Bader in this lineup? Do we really need a Harrison Bader when we have something like in Jordan Montgomery where not an ace by any means, but just someone you can count on each week? Now that